Alice, in light of that, I'll ask you the same question. Do you see any changes in your office? But also, would you, how do you think your policy and procedure change has worked out as the hours of operation and the number of hours a week and so forth? What's your take?
Yes, sir. The office hours for the registrar's office have never changed. They have always been 8:30 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. I used to get there at 15 till 8 or 8 o'clock or whatever, and nothing happened. I just would sit in there and maybe make coffee or whatever, because the mail does not get put up until 8:30. You can't get your mail until then, and that's the first thing you have to work every day. Every document that comes into that office has to be have a received stamp on it and timed at the time in which it does come in. So after about 2 years of sitting up there by myself for 30 to 45 minutes, I changed the hours to 8:30. The banks don't open till 9, and that has worked out well. I have had absolutely no complaints for those hours, and they have always been the hours. Now, as far as the policies and procedures, I only did a little tweaking to the policies and procedures that other county offices hold to conform to the needs of a 3-person office, and myself being number 4. The highway department, the sheriff's department, the recycling department, all those departments have their own policies and procedures, and one must adjust their policies and procedures to fit the needs of the office, and that's what I did.
Okay. Another question that we're asking in each one of these forums is, you as office holder or an employer, what's your feeling about hiring close friends or relatives? And you start off.
Well, my number 1 assistant has been with me 34 of my 35 years in office. Obviously, we are very good friends. It's very unusual that a person can work with someone for that long and still maintain an outside friendship, which we do. I would not hire close family, such as a sister, a brother, anything like that. My niece does work in the registrar's office, and she has since she was 17 years old. She worked after school, she worked part-time, and when there became a need for a full-time 3rd deputy, or assistant, as I prefer to call it, naturally, I hired her because she was the most qualified person, not because she was my niece, but because she was qualified. My 2nd assistant has been with me 22 years. So as you can see, I have had very, very little turnover in employment in the registrar's office. That's another reason that when you've got a good thing working, If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Okay, thank you. Ma'am?
Well, I think hiring family is not always a good idea if you're an office holder. I think relationships between family can sometimes turn the wrong way. As far as hiring your friends, there once again, I don't always believe that may be the best thing. As Alice said, when you work with somebody for a very long time in any position, you do become friends, and you can stay friends outside of the office. But when you're in the position of being the manager of an office, sometimes that might put a damper on your friendship, and I just think you have to be careful with that.
Okay, here's a question that we're asking in each one of these three parts of the forum today. What's your feeling on term limits for county officials? Start with Pam.
Okay. I believe anyone that holds office or expects to hold office needs to remember that they are simply a custodian. That office actually belongs to the people of Henry County, not the office holder. And if the people of Henry County elect you, then I think you should serve at their will and their pleasure. I just think that they're the ones that hold you accountable for that position. You work for them. You are their public servant. I believe that you should uphold yourself to their standards that they expect out of you, and that you should always remember that you're working for them.
Okay. Alice? As a long-time office holder,
Well, obviously, in a way, elections are term limits, Bill. You stand for re-election, some offices every 2 years, some offices every 8 years, and some offices, in my case, every 4 years. I have been elected by the people whom I serve, and as long as they elect me, I feel that says they're satisfied with the service they are receiving from me. I have never forgotten that office belongs to the people of Henry County. It isn't Alice Webb's office. It's the voters of Henry County's office. And I treat it as such. I would never assume that someone else could not do the job that I do. I am just grateful that the people of this county have had the trust and the faith in me to elect me numerous times.
Okay. Do you see any changes ahead, whether from changes in law or technology or changing situations, that sort of, seeing any changes down the road for the registrar's office?